Aloha, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Kaua'i. We're happy to have you here today, and just know that this is a safe place and a place of love. So we welcome you in that love. And before we start our service, we'd like to do our announcements first. So bear with me for a few moments. It's our way to tell you what we're doing here at Center for Spiritual Living, Kaua'i, which is more than just a Sunday place. It's something happening here all the time. So the first thing we like to say is we're still looking for a new home, and we are outgrowing this room, and this hotel is renovating, and we are needing to move out of here. So we are definitely looking for a new home. So if you know of any place that we can rent or possibly purchase, we would love to hear about that. Anna Myers, one of our founding members, does a group called Spiritual Living Circles. And every month they take an article out of the Science of Mind magazine. In fact, she's here today. There she is. And they have a wonderful, intimate discussion about it up in Princeville. And this month, that is taking place on the 24th, Wednesday. And she's actually having a potluck. And it's at Anini Beach, right?
Yeah.
At 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Wednesday the 24th. And on the 27th, we're having a very special gathering with the with Kaua'i Hospice. They're going to come and show their film, Gifts of Grief, and have a discussion about it after. And Caroline Muir is coming to do that, and it should be a wonderful, wonderful evening with this film called The Gifts of Grief. And that's at 6:30 in Princeville on the 27th. And then just so you know, our July 12th is our birthday bash. We have been here for 2 years on the island of Kaua'i. We're very excited about that, Patrick and myself, all of us. We've been here for 2 years with the center, and we celebrate every July. So on July 12th, we have like a big service down at Lidgate Park, and the Sacred Earth Choir comes, and Jeremy and Amy will be there also, and we have a big special service, and we have a potluck after. So if you would like to join in that, we'd love to see you on the 12th of July. It'll be the regular time, except for we won't be in this room. We'll be down at Lidgate. And you can sign up for the potluck in the back, or talk to Michelle. I think she's here. There she is. Okay, cool. And we're also having a fundraiser at the same time, which we do every year as our fundraiser for our center to help us progress further. And you can find out about that on our website. This beautiful poster Rob Jones did to help us keep track of that fundraiser. So let's see. Also, membership. If you would like people, it's come to my attention that people didn't understand that you can become members of the center. Membership means that you're just committed to your spiritual growth. You're committed to this as your spiritual home community, and that's really about it. It's just about commitment to yourself and commitment to this as your spiritual home. And doesn't mean you're not free. You can do whatever you want to do with your life. We just want to see you grow and recognize your magnificence. So if you feel comfortable here and you want to become a member, there are membership forms in the back. I think we have about 110 members right now. Yeah, all over the world, not just here on Kaua'i. So, and we are live streaming, and we live stream every Sunday so that if you leave Island, you can catch us online. So, and it's uploaded and archived. So I think that I got to everything, did I?
And that the classes are not happening.
Oh yeah, we had this class plan called The Creative Self, and it's not happening because we didn't get the enrollment that we wanted, so we're just postponing it and doing it because it takes a big enrollment to do what we wanted to do with it. So that is about it. So I want to introduce Jamie and Jeremy and Amy. Breathe, breathe. Jeremy and Amy, who will be playing, who are our music directors, and will be playing for our meditation, which we're going to do now. We like to take time to center at the beginning of service and to bring ourselves to the here and now as we go into the celebration. So we do that first by lighting our peace candle, which says that, just a minute because people are talking. Karen, it's my daughter. She's here today and she's causing all kinds of commotion. Okay.
There we go.
All right, everyone, take a deep breath. This is our peace candle, just to remind ourselves that thing called peace is really actually who and what we are, and it begins within us. And from that place within us, it expands out into our community, out into our world. But it has to start with us. So we just remind ourselves of that every single Sunday. So take a deep breath into that. And so just relax in your chairs. Get in touch with your breathing. Know that that chair that is holding you right now, there's something even beyond that. As you relax into that chair, that universe that supports us at all times, that has us cradled in its embrace. We can breathe in and relax and know that that is love. And so, I have this little Zen proverb to take in with us as we take this time to be quiet. The bird of paradise lands only on the hand that does not grasp. The bird of paradise lands only on the hand that does not grasp. Enjoy your time. So just staying in this place, within, right here, right now. Just take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And what I know is that there is only peace here. For peace is all there is. There is only love here. For love is all there is. There is only joy here. For joy is all there is. That is that presence, that divine light, that divine energy that is everywhere present in its allness. It is present right here in that joy, in that peace, in that love. So I know that, and I announce that, and I claim that as myself and each and every person in this room, that joy, that love, that peace that permeates and infuses all of creation. So I know we bring that, knowing that highest part of ourselves here today to celebrate that which we are, that beauty, that perfection, that joy, that love, that peace. And I know that in every moment of this time together, we unfold, we expand moment by moment by moment by moment. Nothing but the moment by moment, right here, right now. And I know it is good, and I just let it be good. And I just get out of the way and allow Spirit to just move through me, move through this celebration, move through each and every one of us, letting go of all barriers, letting go of all ego, just being right here, right now, in that beauty, peace, love, joy. And knowing this to be the truth of life, I just simply am grateful for what transpires here, knowing that it is in that perfection. And I simply release my word. I release it as law into universal law, knowing that it is done as we stay together as one. And so it is now. Thank you.
Aloha, everyone. I am Reverend Patrick, in case you don't know who I am. And this is the wonderful Reverend Rita. And we know Jeremy. And so it's all beautiful.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Here we are. So
just so you know, when you arrive a little late, we lock you out, basically.
Yeah.
So welcome.
And in case you don't know where you are in the Center for Spiritual Living. I like to say this every Sunday. I try to say it in a different way every Sunday so that those of you that are here don't get like, I don't get into a rote about what I say about this teaching. But this teaching is universal teaching. It is everything. Like it is. Ernest Holmes took everything and brought it together. Ernest Holmes is the founder of religious science, which is what we practice here, New Thought, whatever you would like to call it. And he just took everything that was beautiful and of love, and that helped us to recognize that we were magnificent, and brought it all together in a teaching, and then gave us tools, spiritual mind treatment, and a meditation, and affirmations, and visualization, and visioning, all those things to help us to remember who and what we are, which is that power and beauty and love and peace that is divine. So that's what we practice here, and we come here every Sunday just to remind ourselves of that, so that because sometimes when we get into life and into the experience of life, we can forget. And the more we can remember and bring what we hear here on Sunday into our lives, the better off our lives are going to be. And we really, truly believe that. And I know for myself, I practice this, and it's not always perfect. My life is not always like perfect, but my life is always good because I recognize the perfection even in the imperfection. So I celebrate that. So welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kaua'i, and we just really love having you here. So thank you. So yeah.
And just on the note of perfection, I am perfect. No, I'm kidding. But all of us are perfection in its absolute. And I just heard yesterday about this whole new thought. And it was interesting. New thought simply means, because I will tell someone I'm a new thought minister, and they'll say, compared to the old thought, and it's really nice to have humor. But what I realized about it is it's because we always are at choice to have a new thought. And this is a new thought movement. And I know we say treat and move your feet, but this is a new thought movement, and it starts in the mind. That's where all of the movement starts. So on that note, I just wanted to throw that in, and also to say, who is here for the very first time? There's no way for you to not let us know, because I will recognize you. There we go. And we have a little something special for you. A little package. There we go. Pretty much cold hard cash is in that envelope. Okay, so before you came, we found something out about you, and we just wanted to share that with you publicly, actually. So are you guys ready? What we told you about? Yeah. Okay, ready? You are magnificent. Did you know that? Yes, you did know that, right? And so you're wondering how we knew that you were magnificent. And the way that we know, it makes you laugh, doesn't it? It just brings joy to you to remember who you are. Well, the reason that we know that is because we know that that's who we are. And that's something that we might have to remind ourselves sometimes over and over and over again, and we do that on Sundays. So, shall we all say it together? I am magnificent. Now look over to your left or right up above and just say it to somebody that's you are know that or what? All right. Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? Just to kind of bathe in it for a moment. Yeah. What's that? Oh, no. We're like family here. We just talk to each other. So anyway, that is what we do every week, and we probably will never stop it until we just, I don't know, just can't stand ourselves anymore. We just become magnificent and remember every second. So on that note, shall we open up this celebration party? Yes? There we go. So if you would like to stand, that's fine with us. If you want to sit, that's fine with us. If you want to dance, that's fine with us. We have a dance floor back there. Now just stop holding. Okay, ready?
As I walk through the valley of love and devotion, I feel you reaching out to me like a wave across the ocean.
All right, so every once in a while we do something. First of all, thank you for that. Thank you. Every once in a while we do what we call In the Light, and we ask someone in our congregation, one of our members, or maybe not, but someone that to come up and share something of themselves and their spirituality. So we have a beautiful person here today, Anna Myers, who is one of our founding members, who is very special to me. She taught me how to make my first lei. I was just telling my daughter that. And she's in my halau, and she's just a very amazing person. And as you all know, there was that earthquake in Nepal, right? And Anna had just left on vacation to go there to serve and to have a vacation, and that occurred. And as she is, because she's like an amazing person of service, an amazing person of love, she stayed there and helped and assisted and served during that time for both earthquakes. So she has agreed to come here today just to share a little bit of her experience in that place in Nepal at that time. And I just appreciate her doing this, and so does Patrick. So thank you, Anna, and I welcome you up.
Yes, I'm on a joyride. And I have tears on my joyride. So I hope you understand that. And you'll help me a lot if we can breathe together for a moment, all right? So, and it'll help me a lot too. I'll do this, and if you do it with me. As we inhale, let's bring our air in. It's beautiful. Aloha, spirit, and air. Inhale. And exhale. All tension away. Should I hold this? I don't need to hold it. I don't have to.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Well, I had a plan for Nepal. Yes, I was going for a brief, week or 10-day service trip. I was going to teach English at a government school. And the main reason that I was going to do that is because I really wanted to see the Himalayas. That's on my bucket list. It wasn't in my husband's plan, so he decided not to go. But I thought, well, if I travel that far to see the Himalayas, I'd better do something for the community. So I was able to line up this service trip. Delighted to do that. Well, yeah, Nepal had a plan for me. Within 24 hours of arriving is when the earthquake got us. I was in the bathroom at the hotel that I was staying in. I had planned to stay in this hotel for one night and then move to a home where I would be staying for the duration of my service trip. But anyway, I was in this bathroom at the hotel. I was standing. And the walls started shaking. Water started sloshing in the toilet. And I thought, oh my God, this is an earthquake. And people were screaming. Then I heard from the windows and said, get out, get out. So we got out. Everybody got out. My hotel was not damaged much. It was barely cracked. Okay. It ended up being
We're just going to switch.
Okay.
mics here.
My shaking too much on that one. So anyway, are we okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Jerry.
Anyway, a lot of people were totally freaking out, totally fearful, angry, some injured, not too badly, because they were injured from falling down, from getting outside. And our hotel was in the old district of Kathmandu called Tamil. I don't know, maybe some of you have been there. But in Tamil and in all over Kathmandu, and the buildings that were old were the ones that fell down. Not all buildings fell down, but almost all buildings were cracked and damaged in some way. Okay, so for me, I feel like I have this charmed life. I live in Kaua'i. I have a wonderful husband. I have a wonderful life. And it's so easy for me to feel spiritual and feel the love and feel the joy every day and almost in every way. And I've studied the Science of Mind principles in Ernest Holmes' teachings for over 40 years. I loved it. But suddenly, I was given this opportunity. Okay, this is an opportunity. Am I going to feel the joy? Am I going to know my love? Am I going to know my good, my God? Or, that was one choice, or am I going to be so fearful that I have to quickly get out of that place? They wanted everybody to evacuate. It wasn't Nepali. Or I could just stay there and be scared all of the time. So my choice was to stay there and do what I could to help and still be joyful to know the truth of these people. They were resilient. The ones that I spoke to, mostly I was with hotel staff, and they were very concerned because most of them lost their homes. But we always checked about their family, said, well, the people are okay, my immediate people. The people were okay, but their homes were gone. And that was a story, but they were all very joyful that that was so. So, my learning, yes, I could still be joyful there. I could still help, and I feel so blessed to have been there. And then I think about the other earth-shaking events we have, a loss of a loved one, maybe showing anger when we don't want to, feeling sadness. Those are all our speed bumps in the road, speed bumps on our joy rides. And we have this great opportunity to go within and find our joy, find our light, no matter what's happening. Yeah? So, and then this morning, I read my Science of Mind magazine every day, but I thought I would just part with this. This is by Emerson, this morning's reading. Though we travel the world over to find the beautiful, we must carry it with us or we find it not.
Oh my goodness. And as I was telling Anna as she was gone that the family, we stayed in consciousness with you the entire time, and that's when nothing is separate. And thank you. Thank you for just being
Thank you. And I felt it. Thank you all.
You're welcome. Oh, so let's take another one of those deep breaths that we seem to be doing a lot of today. Breathing is always good, by the way. Just the FYI. But so shall we have a little music now? Some special breathing music over here. And Anna, this is perfect for our talks today. Thank you so much, because it's exactly where we're going.
All right. So on the thread of a charmed life here on Kaua'i, a little original music for you. Next week Sunday on the solstice, we'll be cleaning up from our family friends party, so we won't be right here with you. But so we're gonna do our summer solstice song today. It goes like this. Sitting on the front porch with my brethren and my sisters on the summer solstice day. Summer solstice day. Yes, I'm sitting on my front porch with my brethren and my sisters on the summer solstice day. Summer solstice day. I'm looking at the plants, them intelligent, beautiful and reverent, growing in the garden today. In the garden. Yeah, we're eating sweet red lychee, so ripe and juicy, sticky sweet dripping down on my feet today. Sticky, sticky sweet, sticky sweet, sticky, sticky sweet. We're eating sweet red lychee, so ripe and juicy, sticky sweet dripping down on my feet today. Sticky, sticky sweet, sticky sweet, sticky, sticky sweet. 'Cause I'm sitting on my front porch with my brethren and my sister on the summer solstice day. Summer solstice day. Yeah, you know I'm sitting on my front porch with my brethren and my sister on the summer solstice day. Summer solstice day. And if the rest of the band was here, we'd be singing like this. We're singing Irie, 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 angels. 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 'Cause I'm sitting on my front porch with my brethren and my sister on the summer solstice day.
What was that? What was it? Irie, Irie?
Iron Angels.
In our band, we have two, sometimes three women singing, and it's just such a beautiful angelic sound.
Oh,
It was.
We're the
that's so
Drop
great.
that little line in the song.
Thank you. That's
We're
beautiful.
gonna try to make a little video, so we'll post it
Okay,
of,
cool.
our group on the porch, you know, with the dripping lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll post on the CS.
Yeah.
Rita?
Yes.
I brought a bunch of lychees.
Oh, good. Before I start my talk, I want to just introduce my daughter. I don't want to embarrass her, but I will anyway.
Yeah.
But
That
she's
one.
sitting right there. Her name is Laura, and she's my youngest. And she had her first lychee. Did you like it? You did. I said it's kind of a combination of a sticky sweet. Yeah. So thank you for bringing them, Maria. Thank you. So, oh God. So some of you might know I was in Toronto last week, and I went to the Canadian New Thought Conference, and I went basically because we have our Canadian brothers and sisters, Jonathan Zen. Some of you met him at our Sacred Journey, and he comes here. He'll be coming back this year. I really wanted to support him because he took on a really big endeavor to take on all of Canada. He's a new minister. He's been a minister for like 3 years, and he took on this big project. So I was like, I got to go support my brother, you know. And so I went. So it's just so funny because you think you're going for someone else, but in reality, it ended up all about me. I got so much spiritual nourishment. I didn't even know that I needed to hear the things I heard, and it was just, I can see why we should take time, even like, especially in positions like I'm in, to really spiritually nourish ourselves, because it was very, just expanded me and made me feel so even more in touch with what Patrick and I are doing here, and this whole movement of New Thought that's not just us sitting here in this room, but just expands out into the world. And the whole thing took place in this beautiful Catholic church, which was really interesting. And it was old. It was like built in 1847. So we were in that energy of this, like the floors creaked like wood, and we were having, but there were the huge band playing all this New Thought music and just raising the roof off that place. It was just like so expansive. So I just my joyride. It was amazing, and I wanted to share some of that with you and some of the things I learned, because I think they're just universal things that I already knew, but I just got to know in a different way. And the first thing I heard out of the first mouth was, "All your beliefs are false." This guy's amazing. Go listen to him sometime. Maybe you know him, Reverend Suzanne. His name is Evan Reed. and he's from Calgary, and he has a church there. I think his basis is unity, but and that was the first thing out of his mouth. His first thing out of his mouth was, all your beliefs are false. And then I thought about that, and all of a sudden I got like really free. Like, all your beliefs are false. Because your beliefs, they're not who you are. They're just things that you've learned. Things that you've learned through all your experiences, things you've held on to from your childhood, things you've whatever. They're just, and they're false. Because you can change them any minute. You can change them any second. That's what New Thought is about. So if you think like a belief has you, it can't have you, because you're the believer. And I really brought that really brought that home, because a lot of times in our philosophy we say we have to separate the belief from the believer. And there's really only one truth, and that is that God is all there is. You can call it God, divine energy, I don't care what you call it. I want to call it God because that works, God is all there is. And if you go to life with that, knowing that God is all there is, it really doesn't, nothing else really matters, because you're taking that to Nepal with you and you're seeing it in whatever is happening. This is about the joyride today. There's a joyride in everything. A joyride in everything. So the question to ask is, are your beliefs serving you? Or is what you're believing serving you? Is it serving your highest good of knowing that God is all there is and love is all there is, if you want to call it love? Is it serving that? Or is it bringing you down? Is it making you feel less than yourself? And then you know that you've got to change that belief. And then he said, why stay I here? I heard this talk by him. He was like, it was about the Bible story of the lepers staying outside the city of Jerusalem. He uses the Bible a lot, but in a really good way, in a metaphorical way. Why stay I here? Like, why do we stay with a belief that doesn't serve us? Why do we stay in a place that's not serving us? And I don't mean a place like a physical place. I'm talking about a place in your mind. Why do we stay there? There's no reason to stay there besides maybe we want to punish ourselves? What? I don't know. Or if there's something we need to learn, and if there's something we need to learn, we need to ask, like, what needs to be known here? What do I need to know right now? Why are you still here? Why am I still here? What do I need to know? And we get the answers. I know that. Then Dr. Michael Beckworth. Have you ever heard him talk? That's an experience. He's an experience. And if you and I don't know if I could take that experience every Sunday, but some people do, because he has like 10,000 people in his church. I don't know how many, but and he's been the secret. If you don't know who he is, he's a nice, good-looking African American guy with the dreadlocks that runs Agape. Anyway, he was there and he did a presentation with his wife, and she sang, and it was really amazing. But he said something that was very powerful, and I really want to drive this home, and that was to don't leave your home without first making contact. He was talking about making contact with what? Spirit. How many times do we just run out the door, or run into a meeting, or run into talking to somebody without first making contact? And that's like kind of what we were talking about today, this idea of taking a deep breath. And he said, but don't leave your home. So many times we have, in classes, people telling us they don't have enough time to meditate. It doesn't take a lot of time to just give yourself that gift of taking a moment in the morning for you to make contact with spirit, to breathe into that, because it's going to make all the difference in your day and how you approach everything in your day. And even like when you're walking into a situation that might seem volatile in some way to you, to just take a breath before you go in and make contact. Makes sense, right? Don't cheat yourself of it. Really, it's important. So important. And Reverend Pat Campbell, you know how we always hear follow your bliss? She said follow your bless. Her whole talk was about gratitude and following our bless. Have a seat. Everybody good? Good? Okay, cool. Welcome. Anyway, it was about following your bless. Yeah, follow your bliss, but follow your bless. What are you grateful for? Be grateful and follow that. Follow your gratitude. Allow that to expand you. Allow that to take you to your next step. Follow your bless. Follow your bless. And then Etika Luckett, who I know do you know who she is? Okay. Her and her partner, Lisa Ferrero, they do come to Kaua'i because Etika's parents live here, or Etika's mother lives here. And she went through an amazing, and she's going to come here and talk to us at some point. So I'm not going to tell you her whole story, but she did, had a healing of stage 4 ovarian cancer in basically, I'm not even going to tell you because I want her to come and tell you the story. But anyway, her whole thing was about joy. And it was so appropriate for today that she grew her joy. That's how she healed. She said, this thing's either going to take me over or I'm going to be transformed. And she transformed into this amazing thing. And it was all about joy. It was all about love. And she wrote a song after it called Grow Your Joy and Feed the World. Grow that place of joy within you, like Anna was talking about, in the midst of anything, you can choose. Am I going to be joy here, or am I going to give in to whatever's happening and bring everybody down, or go down with them? So grow your joy and then feed the world. That's exactly what she did. It's beautiful. And I also learned how to see dead people, but I'll talk about that in a different topic.
A teaser.
That was a teaser for next week. Anyway, but that was kind of accidental. Well, what do you want when you're in a 200-year-old, 300, 400-year-old Catholic church? Okay, so I also facilitated a labyrinth walk when I was there. And on this big labyrinth, there was 100 people. And what was really interesting is that I thought nobody was going to show up. And I had kind of bought into it because they were having another workshop at the same time, and my little ego got in the way. Like, oh wow, why did they put another workshop on? I did the whole ego thing, like we sometimes do. But what ended up happening is I gave that up. I said, you know what? If 2 people show up, if I have to walk this labyrinth on my own, I'm meant to walk this labyrinth on my own, and I will find joy in walking this labyrinth on my own and get the gifts of whatever that is. So I let go of it all, and then 40 people showed up, so whatever. And it's always an amazing experience walking the labyrinth. Then there was this one experience that I got to tell you about because I think this is really important. It's about using the law. When I got there, I was with my good friend, Reverend James. Some of you have already met him. And we got into the cab, and we got out of the cab, and he picked up his backpack, and we walked into the hotel where we were staying. And he went up to the counter, and he realized that his wallet was gone. And you can imagine the panic. And then he looked in the pocket of his backpack, and he had unzipped it. And he was sure the wallet must have fallen out. And then we retraced all the steps. And then all of a sudden I'm going, we haven't treated yet. So I went in the corner of the hotel, and I started talking to myself. I'm going, this is unacceptable. It is unacceptable that Reverend James does not have his wallet. His wallet, Reverend James will go to bed with his wallet tonight. I know that. I claim it, and I announce it, and blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, didn't that cab driver give you a receipt? I said, yes, I didn't want to take it, but he gave it to me anyway. So the number was on there. We called the cab driver. It ended up that the wallet was in the back of the cab. But it was like that instantaneous. So sometimes all it takes is to just say, you know what? This is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. It's the law. When I say it's the law, it's the law. We have this power within us that we can speak our word, and our word, as we claim that word and really believe it and embody that word, then it has to respond to us. So what are we saying? What are we thinking? What are we putting out there? That is the question. And sometimes we have to say, this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable anymore that I live like this. It's not acceptable anymore that I live in lack. It's not acceptable anymore that I don't have love in my life. It's not acceptable anymore. I am love. I am prosperity. I am all these things, and therefore I claim them as me and I live them. And does it sound? Yeah. Oh. Thank you. Oh. It's true. So if I got anything out of this conference, the biggest thing I got was this idea, because it was put over and over again, is that we are that presence. We are God. And some of us don't want to accept that, and it's a big bridge to leap over, that we are actually God. That doesn't mean I'm God and Tony's not God or Kelly's not. No, we all are living in this one presence, and we all are that power. We all are, as we look into each other's eyes, we are that presence, we are that love, no matter what is going on. And when we really get that, oh my God. So I was like, I think I've been shying away from it. Like even in my work here, I've been like trying to make everybody feel comfortable, trying to like say, oh, you know, I'm only going to give them a little at a time and, you know, blah, blah, blah. No, I want to cross over the bridge and I want to reach out my hand and say, come. I want to start to experience that. And it's more than just saying I am, it's taking it into Nepal. It's taking it into all the stuff that happens because it's not always as pretty as we think it is, because we're here to grow and to learn and to expand and to learn how loving we are and how loving everybody is and how that presence that we are is. We're here to learn that. Whatever it takes, it takes. Some of us, it takes more than others. I mean, I've been in the depths of despair at times, and sometimes what I have to know that in that depths of despair, God is still there. I never understood it when James would say God is in the cancer, but I get it now. Because if I don't think God is in that cancer, then how am I going to heal? How am I going to heal if I don't? Because then I've separated myself. So if I've learned anything from this trip, it was about duality and about finding the joy no matter what. Because Ernest Holmes in his later part of his life said the absolute is the relative at the degree of the relative. That's a complicated statement, but all it means is in the darkness, the light's there at the degree that we feel that light. So it never goes away. It's always there. So it's just a matter of us recognizing it. So we have to stop the separation and just live in oneness. That's what this is about, living in oneness, living in unity. So that was my joyride. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. It was just, except for that, just let us enjoy the journey, let us enjoy the process, and not separate, and just know that right where we are, no matter what is happening, no matter what we are experiencing, there, right there, is that light, is that joy, is that love, and we just have to turn it higher and higher and higher, and transform, as Etika Luckett said. So, grow your joy and feed the world. All right? I love you.
Wow. She's back. Wow. I'm going to make this quick. Not. Oh, thank you, Rita. Nice to have you back. Here's the deal. How do you follow I see dead people is beyond me. I'm going to talk about what's living right now. And Etika Luckett, I'm starting my little message with that too. She says, if you're not in awe, you're not paying attention. If you're not in awe, you're not paying attention. And I thought that, and that's why I was so happy on it that you brought in the joy of that, because a lot of times when people are not in joy, you feel like, oh, I better not really be in joy right now, it's not appropriate. And it's very appropriate. I found this quote too, that I found, and I asked permission because it was kind of a private letter to me, and so I wanted to make sure that I could use it, and they said, by all means. So it kind of goes with this idea, if you're not in awe, you're not paying attention. Even subtle criticisms stand in the way of love. Even subtle criticisms stand in the way of love. When you stop criticizing and blaming the universe for what you see as failures and only see before you a universe of awesome, and all things are awesome at some level. I'm going to repeat that. All things are awesome at some level. Only then will you have what you want. And I thought that, do you believe that the universe is awesome?
Yes.
Do you believe that your life is awesome?
Yes.
Do you believe that you are awesome?
Yes.
Yeah, in this moment. Because we're all excited, right? We're all like, wow, joy, let's take the joy ride. And this is what the dictionary has to say about it. The dictionary defines awesome as causing or inducing awe, inspiring and overwhelming feeling of reverence, admiration, or fear. Oh, hello, right? An awesome sight. Now my question is, how do we get fear in my good feelings about my, because awesome to me means awesome. Go up to the Nepali coast and you stand there and you go, wow, awesome. My life is awesome. I'm breathing, it's awesome. This island is awesome. And then they go and bring fear into my definition. And then I started exploring it because it can be very awesome when you see things such as the World Trade Center. You stand in awe because you're sitting there thinking, wow, this is going to annoy me. Just so that is not awesome. It was like, you know, I'm not even shaking and it feels like I'm So when you're standing in front of something that is a disaster and you go, I'm in awe right now. Where is the joy ride? And I was thinking of a couple of examples of joy rides and this idea of fear. Has anyone ever been on a roller coaster? Yeah, right? I don't know why we do that to ourselves, but there are some people that think it's like my granddaughter, Laura's daughter, Aura. No one would go with her to the amusement park in California, so I got the wonderful duty of doing that, and I had not been on those rides in a long time. But I wanted her to have a good time. She wasn't old enough yet to go on by herself, which she actually preferred, to be honest with you. Because there's nothing better than going with me and all of her young friends are like, going, wow, let's go in there. And she's like, you know, there he is. But she appreciated me. And so I thought of this roller coaster ride that our awesomeness is, for me, was when it was over. Because I realized that I was still alive. But I thought of life kind of like this, like, you know, oh my God, what am I doing? Is there really such thing as God? Patrick says, I am God. Rita says, my life is, and then you get right to that moment, right? The one where you're, and you get right there and it's not doing anything yet, right? And that's when you just, and look at the fear in my face right now. And you have to what? Let go. You have to let go and and you see everybody, and all of that, that's awesome fear they must be talking about. Because people do that, and how many times in our life it's so awesome, but we keep scaring ourselves. We keep saying, I'm not enough. I'll never find love. And then you get to the top, and you go, I have a decision to make here. I have to let go. I have to just let go and let life be this joyful ride of a roller coaster and just let go. It is so amazing to me. And then I thought of another one about when I was younger. I've got 3. Everything comes in 3s, by the way. Another one, when I was young, we went on joy rides when I was a teenager, and it's called the Main, where you took your car and you just went on joy ride and you went around in circles. It was the Walnut Creek Main. Basically, you're picking up girls. Basically, it's all that's about. And then, but what's happening there is it was stressful for me. So I thought, now this is a joy ride that everybody got to really had fun, but to me it was stressful. Because there had to be who was going to sit in front, who was better looking, and I got, you know, of course, best personality. But it's okay. I worked through that. Wow. Anyway, it's nice to have a family you can share this with. But what I'm saying is that, because I still remember, I won't say his name because he'll probably be watching live streaming right now, but he used to always say, I'm going to have to be really careful who's sitting in the front, man. You know, because, you know, he goes like, I'm good looking. And Patrick, you know, he's got personality that can run, you know, bring him in too, you know. So I was like, wow, okay, what does this have to do with spirituality? You're all wondering. Well, this is what it means. It means the joy ride is always different for all of us. And that was my stress and it was somebody else's joy ride. Other people have their roller coaster rides. And then a memory came to me that I remember when I was really little, and I'm really glad it came to me that I want to share with you. My mom loved to drive. She loved to drive. That was her freedom. That was her joyride. So she would call her kids with my brother and I, and she said, "We're going on a joyride." So she'd steal the car from some. No, I'm just kidding. She said, "We're going on a joyride," and I thought, "What does that mean?" And she said, "We're going to get in the car," and we all went, "Where are we going? Where are we going?" And she goes, "Wherever we end up." And I thought to myself, that was my mom in the early years, as it were, that really said, life is an adventure. And she'd never tell us, and then we'd go to San Francisco, and she loved to get lost. Because I go, "Where are we at? Where are we at?" You know, even like that, you know, codependent, even at that moment. "Where are we going? Is everything all right?" And she's going, "We're just lost." And she says, and if I go down this street, and she knew every back way to San Francisco. Because she'd get up there, and so we'd go up on the hills, and she goes, "Here we go." And it goes, and then she'd let the brake go. No, I'm kidding. She'd get right at the top, and then she would go like this. Whee! And I thought, you know what? Life needs to be more wee. It really does. And I really thank her, because I've had some memories lately since her passing that wasn't a little more fear-based. And I remembered the courage that my mom had to get lost. To have the fear, no fear to say, "Where are we going?" Wherever we end up. And we always ended up safely at home. And we always found our way back. And I think that's the metaphor today that I want to use for all of us. We're safe. It may not feel like it when you're in the midst of an earthquake, and I love the analogies, the earthquakes of our lives. Dis-ease, whatever it is. But what I realize is that it's okay if we get a little lost, because there's always a new way to find. And we're always guided. And we always can have that opportunity to say, "I'm safe and I'll find my way home." And then when you really find out the truth, that you could never be lost because you're always home, that's a real winner. So all I know is today is about joy. We've gone through many, many emotions today, and it's just wonderful. And you're right, life is a joyride. So I want to do a little thing before we leave. I want you to think of something in your life that you just want to feel that awesomeness about, something you want to have as an experience. And I want you to close your eyes and take a roller coaster ride with me. And when we get to the top, I'm going to say, "Go." And I want you to I want you to throw your arms up in the air. And don't worry, your eyes are closed. No one's looking at you making sillies of yourself. Don't worry. So here we go. Take some time, close your eyes, take a nice deep breath. We're about ready to go. Ah. Go. Now, wasn't that a joyride? Namaste. What do other people do on Sundays? Just curious. Just curious.
Okay, so this is our time of affirmative giving, and there's an affirmation in your program. But before we do that, I just want to say thank you in advance for your gifts to the center, and know that they do go out and not just prosper the center, but also they allow us to do our work here, but also go out into the world. I like to say that every Sunday that we do tithe. We're a tithing center, which means we tithe 10% of what you give us out into the world. And we were able to give more money to Nepal this month. And also we gave some money to Center for Spiritual Living Toronto to help support their wonderful gifts that they gave the world with their conference. Yeah. So, and there's more. There's always more. So thank you. Blessings, blessings. And in your program is the affirmation, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I give freely today, knowing that it returns to me abundantly. Aloha, thank you, mahalo.
Abundance, living life in the abundance. So much good love in abundance. Sweet sensations of a new day rise in abundance. I feel myself in this abundance, giving thanks for this abundance. Calling in the blessings of a new day rise in abundance. Living life in the abundance. So much good love in abundance. Sweet sensations of a new day rise in abundance. I feel myself in this abundance, giving thanks for this abundance. Calling in the blessings of a new day rise in abundance. Living life in abundance. So much good love in abundance. Sweet sensations of a new day rise in abundance. I feel myself in this abundance, giving thanks for this abundance. Calling in the blessings of a new day rise.
And so I am grateful, so grateful for these gifts, for this money, God in action. It's all good, and it goes to good work. And so I just bless it and know it does that, and I give thanks for the giver. And I am blessed, and this center is blessed. And I know that these gifts return to us abundantly in everything that we do and everything that we are. So I just let it go in this gratitude, and I just release this word as I say, and so it is. Right. So thank yous. Thank you. Thank you to all of you first for being here with us today. Thank you to Kelly.
Thank you.
For being here and helping us so much in everything you do. Thank you for your light. It's just so helpful and so blessed. I feel blessed. And Karen, where are you? There you are. Thank you for showing up too in the morning and just helping us. And you two over there. Ron and Michelle, thank you so much. And to Marta and Dan who help us with the live streaming and the bookstore and all of that. Thank you. And to Janice, who is back in the room. Where is
Yes,
she?
she is.
There she is. Who takes our youth and holds a space for them every Sunday. Do you have anything to say to us about Sunday?
Maybe
Kiali, do you have
Kiali?
anything to say?
Do you have something to say?
Yeah.
Always?
You want to come to the microphone?
I have something to share.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we were.
Nice.
Always give Kiali the microphone. He loves it. Okay.
Hey.
Okay, go ahead.
When I am in peace, I am powerful. Today I learned when I'm in peace, I'm powerful. Why do we go to church? We learn about God, we learn about life. What I see at church, I see people singing about God and life. I see support, fundraisers, potlucks, peace. Opposite of peace is bullying, hurting others, taking stuff, and the opposite of fundraisers and potlucks are no money, no food, hungry and poor, war and fighting.
Thank you.
That is
Kiali.
wonderful.
Thank you,
Janice.
Janice. That was amazing. Thank you.
That is very amazing.
Oh, and Loya, thank you for bringing the flowers wherever you are.
There
you are.
you are.
Thank you.
And the
And the
lychee.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's sweet lychee.
And everybody new here that we haven't seen, thank you for bringing your consciousness.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Jeremy and Amy, thank you, mahalo, for your beautiful spirit and music all the time. And special thank you to my daughter for being here on Kaua'i. Thank you.
And
God
Anna for
bless.
bringing your message
And
back to
Anna.
us. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for
Yes.
what you do in life, just by showing up as Anna. Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Recognize Darshan. Do you Darshan? This guy.
Okay.
Rita, Darshan. You're new today.
Yeah.
He's here for just a quick reason. What's your reason?
Just basically, we needed to come to Kaua'i because she had had a dream of, for several years now, of us making a Divine Mother temple and community, and we were talking with John about our vision yesterday, and he said we should come here because you were sharing a similar vision,
Oh,
essentially, with creating an open community, which is open for all people, and
yes.
feeding people. We'd like to feed people once per week and have a place in ashram where people could stay that's open and
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, definitely.
Well, definitely welcome.
Welcome, Darshan, and your family,
Welcome.
and thank you, and yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming. Wow. Okay, and happy birthday, Ron.
Yeah.
I know you had a birthday yesterday. All right.
Already?
Are we good?
We're good. Is
I
everybody
think
ready to
I didn't-
circle up, as they
Yeah,
call it? And,
Let's do it.
Circle, circle.
In our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. We all need when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry your home. It won't be long, 'cause I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have faith, you need to no one can fill those of your needs that you won't measure. You just call on your brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. We all need when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long, 'cause I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on your brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on.
Well, what I know, with eyes wide open, is that we're in a circle of love. So much that I'm going to stand on the furniture where I was never able to do as a child. And what I know is that we have come together on purpose, divine purpose, and that we take this energy and we don't hold it in. We push it from and out and give it to the world. Can I hear, give it to the world? And so what I know is that we are on the roller coaster of life, and it is safe from this place of God, from this place of good. And I know that at any time when life seems to be at a place where we need to lean on somebody, that what we can say is, we! And so it is. So it is.
There is a load you have to bear that you can't carry. Right up the road, I'll share your load if you just call me. You got to call me. Call me. You got to call me. Call me. You got to call me. Call me. You got to
Figure out how to turn it off. Hold on. Without showing my face. No, there's a way. Hold on.